Hello everybody, Glorious came back with another video, and in today's video we'll be bringing back the My Take on Things series, where I'll be giving you my take on Spider-Man PS4 in this episode. Now with that said, I'm going to be trying to do more of these episodes with me doing more reviews on video games. So the next one up should be Shadow of the Tomb Raider, then after that WWE 2K19, then after that Black Ops 4, and then after Black Ops 4, Red Dead Redemption 2. But please do note, it probably won't go in that order, but all those games will be next in line. Don't know which one will be first, but I just know that they'll be next in line. Now with that said, let's get into the video and give you my take on Spider-Man PS4. PS4 Spider-Man PS4. Now if you do like, please leave one and subscribe. One thing I want to tackle first is the story. It is so damn good, in my opinion, and took risk in places I wasn't expecting. That made the story for me. There are tons of emotional moments here that'll get you tensing up, but also crying and really feeling for each and every character. One moment I really enjoyed was when Dr. Octavius goes off on Spider-Man, or you, after, being stressed all to hell and kicked out of their office or lab where they were by Oscorp. And, it really made you feel why Dr. Octavius and Peter were feeling that way. Peter is trying to pass it off as like, oh, let's think of something funny, and then Octavius is like, I put my life's work into this. If this doesn't work out, I'm screwed. And it got me feeling for each and every character, like I said before. But it also represented a good lesson of how people deal with certain situations differently. Another thing in the story I really enjoyed highly were the character interactions. They really made every moment of the game where the characters interacted. And I think if they didn't, make the moment for me each time they talked, I wouldn't be talking or as invested into the game as I am now. And I'm really happy they focused on that during the story. Next up, though, we'll talk about the combat. And man, oh man, is it great. It fits Spider-Man so well. Instead of countering each enemy like in the Arkham games, you dodge, which really fits Spidey. I loved it. Plus, all the interactable objects in the environment you can use to your advantage to take down your enemies. One thing I didn't like, though, was the camera. It needed to be pulled out way back and at a wider angle, because sometimes it would just get right behind Spider-Man on his shoulder and you couldn't see what the hell you were doing. I especially found that annoying during boss fights. But besides that, I still loved every battle I was in. Now, next up, we're going to be talking about the newly and beautifully redesigned swinging system. The system in this game is so beautiful, and is one of the main reasons I kept playing. It was so fun to zip across rooftops and the city itself. It really made you feel like Spider-Man. And I especially liked how, it's not weight-based like back in Spider-Man 2, because I think of it now, it's like, I couldn't go back and play Spider-Man 2 just like, oh, let's pick up and play. But this one, it just, it's another testament to the already long list of testaments to why this game is so great. It's just another pick up and play type of game to where you can play it. You can get used to the Spider-Man web slinging, as easy as you can get used to Spider-Man, or not Spider-Man, Mortal Kombat, or the Injustice fighting style. That's just another great reason to go back and play, if you were to. But that's one of the main reasons I kept playing this game from days on end. But then, after that, after all the pros and cons, we now move on to the list of things I didn't like about Spider-Man. One thing I didn't like about the game, though, were the wave-based warehouses, where you had to take on 6 waves of enemies to complete them. First reason being is you couldn't do all the waves in stealth. I feel if there's a wave-based system, especially in a superhero game. Let me make that straight. Superhero game. You should be able to take each wave down any way you want to. So in stealth, or in just going balls crazy, balls to the wall crazy, and taking out each enemy with fighting up front or whatever. But I especially would have loved it if you could have just taken out each enemy stealthily and also hung multiple enemies to one thing, because you're only allowed to hang one enemy to one thing, so one enemy per lamppost or whatever. But that would have added a better deal of, like, okay, I can take out this warehouse more easily because I can take it out in a stealthy way. And then also, another reason after that is the warehouses. If you lose the wave, you're going back to wave 1, and I think it should have been set on a checkpoint size system to where after each wave, a checkpoint is saved. So after wave 1, you're going to start at wave 2. After wave 2, you're going to start at wave 3, and so on. But sadly, they didn't integrate that. Hopefully they can add an update to where it, adds that, but I don't know if they will. But then, after that, trying to find. Also, another thing I didn't like about the game was the Mr. Negative boss fight. Just this boss fight, exclusively. It was too condensed and could have been redone completely with less of a QuickTime event focused battle, because you're on the train, and the only thing you're able to do is dodge. I mean, those moments were confusing itself because you had to remember the pattern and then back into QTEs and just mashing square, which really threw me out of the game, in my opinion, because Spider-Man's able to swing around the room and so on, not be condensed. But hey, besides that boss fight, all the boss fights are great. And then after that, the last thing I didn't like about Spider-Man was I thought one thing I thought should have been taken out of the game, or had more Spider-Man integration like you do for like 1 or 2 times, is the Mary Jane and Miles Morales sequences. I feel those sequences could have just been told in a cutscene, especially because, I mean, you could have told that, like, with Mary Jane contacting Spider-Man. It's like, oh, Spider-Man, I need your help. I'm going in here. Or I'm going to investigate here. And then as you're flying, you get there, and then you see Mary Jane just get captured. Not like, oh, Spider-Man, I need your help, or I'm going into this. And then it cuts, and then you play as Mary Jane, and then you have to be so stealthy. And the only places I didn't mind that is when you got the taser finally. That really helped with that. But Miles, I didn't mind it, but then I did because of all the stupid things you can do to, just startle people and make them notice you. But I think those could have been just excluded or just told through a cutscene, or told when you're getting there. So you get there and you see Mary Jane gets captured. But besides that, I really just thought could have been left out. But with that out of the way, my final thoughts. From start to finish, I couldn't put this game down. It had me addicted for days on end, and is also the only game on my trophy list and on my PlayStation list, under my profile, that I have 100% completed. I have gotten every trophy completed, every objective completed, unlocked every suit, gotten every single thing. And I don't usually do that with games. The only other game I tried to do that with were the Arkham games, but the one thing that set me back and was really annoying were the Riddler quizzes or riddles. I find those super annoying because you have to look it up and find it, and they're not all easy, to where the one thing on this game that are obtainable are the demon warehouses. I mean, if you get pissed off easily, not so easy, but if you're able to push through it and get through it, then you're able to do it and complete the game 100%, which I really hold high to this game. It pushes you to take on each challenge and so on. And even if you don't want to, you don't want to. But, hold on. But it just, since it's since it's the only game I've completed, that's another testament of, how much I love the game and just how much fun it is. And I loved every moment from the story and game itself. All of them had me having flashbacks to Spider-Man games of the past, especially Spider-Man 2. This game is filled to the brim with content and is on my top games of the year so far. But which part or which number is it at? I don't know. We'll figure out that in December. But, it's also a definite pickup for me. And if you're looking for a fun time, this is the game to go to. With that said, Spider-Man for the PS4 reinvents the superhero genre and gets a 9 out of 10. I feel it really reinvented the superhero genre of today, especially without, having those, annoying side missions, aka the Riddler trophies on Batman. I know you don't have to complete those, but for me to complete a game 100%, it really shows you, this game's about fun and not annoying, and so on. The one thing close to that in Batman would have to be the Harry labs that you have to find on rooftops. Suppose I was able to complete all of those. But, man, this game is so great. So fantastic, and is the best superhero and Spider-Man game to date. And I cannot wait to see what Insomniac has planned for the futures, because Spider-Man's not the only one that's going to be getting a video game, if rumors are to be true, because they're looking to set up a Marvel Cinematic video game universe. And I could tell from that, especially after the credits, because they have after and end credit scene, or middle and end credit scene, which I really liked. And, man, it's just such a fantastic game. But with that said, let me know what you guys thought down below. Have you played Spider-Man yet? Are you going to be getting it? Or what's your take on it? I don't really mind it being on PlayStation, as a PlayStation exclusive, because I understand people or companies need incentives for people to buy their console, so I understand why it's an exclusive. If you're on Xbox over there and complain, I don't want to buy a PlayStation, it's like, dude, just buy a PlayStation, then you're able to buy it and play it. I find those people super annoying, by the way, because they make no fucking sense. But, I don't mind it being an exclusive. I mean, it's Sony, so it's not surprising that it's an exclusive to PlayStation, because Sony owns PlayStation, But, I mean, if you really want to play this game, buy the PS4, and so on. But, with that said, hope y'all did enjoy this reintroduction or bringing back of the My Take on Things series. Hope y'all did enjoy, and if you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on the road to 300 subscribers. And again, tell me your thoughts on Spider-Man PS4 down below. Have you tried it? Have you played it? Have you beat it? Have you 100%ed it? Will you be getting it? When? And so on. With that said, hope to see y'all in the next one, and the next My Take on Things should be on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm not sure though, because WWE 2K19 comes out next Friday, and if I don't finish Shadow of the Tomb Raider before then, I'm going to be, diving into 2K19. But, with that said, hope you have a nice day, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.